Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations. We are so excited that you decided to be a part of our show on today. And of course, as always, I'm joined by the wonderful ladies of Conversations. You all look so beautiful this morning, and we are going to have a great show. We want to first and foremost thank our man of God, the visionary of this house, the executive producer, Pastor Tony Smith, for allowing us to be here today and be able to talk among ourselves and to share with you. Now, of course, this is a show full of women, and of course, it is nothing better than talking about women. I love when our show is just about women, and today it's just about women. So let me say this, and we're going to get right into the show. Back in the 1900s, it was the place of a woman to stay home, raise the children, and the man went out and he made all the money and brought, as they say, brought the bacon back home to the family. But of course, things have changed now. Education and time has allowed women to become educated. And now women are doing their thing. We are head of state. We are CEOs, CFOs of company, and we are rocking, right? Okay, so saying that, we're going to talk today about has the role of a woman in today's society changed? Now, as I said, ladies, we rock. And one would say that a woman can do anything a man can do, including propose to a man for marriage. So here's my first question, ladies. And again, our topic is, has the roles of a woman in today's society changed? Is it biblical for a woman to propose to a man? Who would like to start? Elder Sutton, I want you to start because I'm looking at Elder Sutton's face and I wish we could get a close-up of the frowns over her face. Proverbs 18:22, let me say this. It says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Elder Sutton, start us off.
And that's correct. And that is correct. If he doesn't find me, he won't have me. That's how I think. And that's how I think these young women, I'm already married. And I mean, these young people need to know that you don't get on your knees to no man. If he come to you, I mean, how he gonna find you? He can find you in church, he can find you on the street. You don't have to get in the bed with him to find you, okay? He can look at you and see whether he wants you or whether he's interested in you by your looks or even by your body shape. You know, they look at you and say, ooh, I like that, you know, but no, don't you tell him that I want to marry you. You can talk about marriage to him. You know, y'all can sit down and have a conversation about, you know, been together 3 years, are we going to ever get married or something like that. But don't you say, hey, I want to marry you now. It happened. It happened and I know a person did. So, no, it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't last. So you don't do that. You never get on your knees to a man. You never give him a ring. You wait. He give you one first, then you give him one. When y'all getting ready to walk down that aisle. Okay. Or he buy them all.
Buy them all. Okay. Minister Rachel.
I don't think it's cool for a woman to
Y'all hear the emphasis on don't.
to get on that knee and propose. I remember like way back early in my 20s, I wasn't rolling with Jesus like I am now. And there was a certain guy that caught my eye. And you know, a couple people got in my ear, and I approached them and, you know, put myself out there, and everything in me was screaming, no, this is wrong. Like it had to be God telling me, you in the wrong position. This is wrong. So growing up, we weren't taught to put ourselves out there. We were taught to allow a man to approach you, and you have to say whether you want to entertain him or not.
Okay.
And that's good because, like you said, back in the day, like even we was coming up, it was like, I wasn't saved all my life. What? You know, when no, baby, don't let it fool you. So, and you know, when the guys even going to the clubs or out in the street, and when the guy used to say something, I'd be like, boy, and they say, oh, and I'd be like, yes, Chuck E. Cheeseing, you know what I mean, grinning, you know, I know y'all been there too. So the guy I seen, you be like, yeah, hey, boo. Then you get all giddy and be all pumped and say, oh, he like me, he want me, and this and that, and then we jumped into something that wasn't good for us, you know what I mean? But it happens, but for me to get down on my knees to propose to a man, that'll never happen.
That's right.
Yeah, that would never happen.
I have a question in reference to that, and my question is, what is a woman's motivation for feeling that she should be the one proposing? Because you're at an
Anxious.
ideally, the idea is, because if we look at the traditional aspects of this, we have to really decide, are we looking to suggest what is possible based on biblical standards? Are we looking to suggest what is possible based on worldly standards? Because there are two different viewpoints and aspects of looking at things. The worldly standard does not want to follow the godly standards that are contained in the Word of God. But of course, with the world, whatever is the popular opinion, that's what goes. So I would have a question about what would be the kinds of things that would motivate a woman to feel that she needs to propose to a man. Now, desperation comes immediately to mind, but other than that, I mean, what else?
I think that the reason why a woman would, not me, but a woman would initiate that is what, like Janelle said, I think it's a level of anxiousness, wondering, when is he going to ask? When is he going to ask? So maybe he's a little slow. Maybe I need to initiate it. I also think that as women have evolved, or been this evolution of womanhood, I think we become very assertive. So we become assertive in business. We become assertive in the corporate world. We've come, in a sense, which is kind of not good. We've become very dominant. And so when you become dominant to me, and sometimes you take a masculine role, and so you become this alpha female. And so like Janelle said, you take on the mindset, I can do everything a man can do, which that is not correct.
True. No.
That is not correct.
No, it's not.
That is not correct. That's not correct at all. So I think that, yes, anxiousness, but I think this level of assertiveness and this level of domination that women have evolved into, that it has allowed them to take on masculine roles. And I think that would be one to propose.
Also, to add on to that, I would say you see time going by, and you see certain milestones that's kind of been planted in us that you're supposed to hit at certain times, and you're not trusting God's plan, and you're seeing the time go by, and it's like, okay, maybe I need, like you said, to put my hand in it to kind of help things along. And that anxiousness, that time going by, that whether you want children, whether you want to be married and have 50 plus years, but you want good years. So we gotta calm it down.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we get very anxious and we get impatient, and we say to the guy, "What are you waiting for?" And then conversations come up every time we have dinner. When are we gonna get married? Like, when are we gonna do this? And I think it's not something that we should present to the man to say, so think we're gonna get married one day? You know what I mean? And then when that happens and the conversation goes left or the conversation goes right, I feel like, I don't think you as a woman should be the person to get down on your knees and propose to anyone. It's not biblical. It's not something that ladylike, if you want to say. I mean, that's just my, that's just my opinion. You're not ladylike to me. Getting down, for a woman to get down on her knee to ask a man to marry him, to me seems desperate.
And
that's what I say.
To add to that, what Elder Chantal is important, because I do think that if you are dating, dating is defined differently for different people. But for me, if I'm dating you, I'm dating with the intention to discover if this is someone that I would potentially be engaged to and then potentially marry. So people date for different reasons, but I do think that it is important in your dating to define dating. So I think that the conversation of, are you interested in marriage, is a legit question, because I want to know if my intention is marriage and your intention is pleasure or fun, then we're on two different pages. I don't want it to be like marriage should not be a conversation, marriage should not be a topic, but I do disagree that you initiating the proposal or the marriage vows, or I don't think that would be maybe appropriate, for a lack of better words.
And you see some ladies say this thing, if I can't have you, they want to, I think they, bring up marriage because of fear, because they say, if I can't have you, then nobody's going to have you. So they fearful that if they don't bring up marriage, that somebody else gonna get their man, and you know what I'm saying, all the time they done spent with him and someone else get to marry him.
I think you want to be evenly yoked, because just like you just said, you know, if that's your intention marriage, his may not be that intention. You know what I mean? So you will want to be evenly yoked, so you will know what you get in, you know, before you jump into a relationship or a marriage, you know, situation.
I'm gonna say this: if somebody is dating somebody and they say to you that if I can't have you, can't nobody have you, you need to run.
Yeah.
Run quick.
I mean, because
That's
clearly,
true.
I
That's
believe
true.
in spiritual warfare. So I believe there is something that enter into that person, because that's not a relationship. A relationship is not, if you don't be with me, I'm gonna kill you. Or
Yeah,
you gonna be with me,
yeah.
ain't nobody else gonna be
That's
with
right.
you. Run.
Run
That's what I'm
fast.
I was
real fast.
I was thinking as y'all was saying that, I was
That's
like, that
true.
sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on this platform that it is not biblical for a woman to propose to a man, and none of us think it is right. Is it right or is it wrong? We all say no, it is wrong, and we don't agree. Now, Minister Brianna touched on something earlier about, and we spoke about it in the opening of the show, about the workplace and the role of a woman has changed, you know, and the woman is now sometimes in some households going and becoming the breadwinner of the family, while the man stays home and raises the children. That is some of those, even those that are watching, the norm for the family. Should a woman in that predicament look at her significant other, her spouse, any less because she is now the breadwinner in the home?
I think I'm full of questions today.
Go ahead,
I think it begs the question of what is the intent? Is it a mutually agreeable arrangement? And when we're talking about men and with their self-esteem and so forth, my question is there a real reason why he chooses not to be the breadwinner?
Right.
What are the extenuating circumstances that will bring them to the point where they need to even consider this? And if it's a temporary arrangement, that may be okay for a season, but at some point in time, that man has to cover. And to cover, which is a part of his responsibility. Now, remember, we're talking about biblical standards, because a lot of our families these days are in a lot of grief and pain and so forth, because the people are not holding the correct role in the family,
Right.
based on the Word of
Right.
God and the standards that are set. So when there's a confusion of roles, you get all kinds of opportunity for there to be discontent, infidelity, and a lot of other things that can crop up as a result of that. So my question then becomes, what is the man's motivation? Why is it a physical something that means that he has to stay in the home and he can't really hold a regular job or something like that? If there are mitigating circumstances which make that necessary, then it should be something that is agreed upon by both of them. And as long as it works for them, I would knock that.
But you said at some point, though, that the man has to cover. Are you saying at some point that the role needs to be switched and he needs to cover, or?
Well, when we're talking about covering, if, for instance, the woman is the one who is really the one bringing the salary, he's not work or anything like that, even though that male is in the home, he's taking care of the house and everything else that the female otherwise would do. But I said, as long as it's something, hopefully it is an arrangement that is a temporary one, so that he can really take on the authority that has been given him to cover and take care of his family. But it should be ideally, if necessary, a temporary arrangement.
Okay, temporary. Okay.
I feel like the Bible say the man is the head of the household. You can't, I think, now that's me, I think if he the head, he gotta get out and go to work. Unless, like Pastor Pooh says, something physical. If he can't work because it's a physical thing, then that's fine. But when that physical part is healed, he got to go to work. I don't think that the man should sit home and babysit and the lady get out every day and go to work. How can you be the head and how can you watch over your wife? You home sitting behind the door, she out there amongst wolves. You know what I'm saying? So I think the man need to go to work, period.
I think Pastor Poole said something key about a season. And as women and wives, we are help meets. Like, we help meet the need. So in that season, we go and we help meet the need. But when, I don't know, I feel like kind of torn about it because, you know, I don't know if the vows are in the Bible for better or for worse. Like, I don't know if that's like actually in the Bible, but I know that a man's role is to cover, and a woman is a help meet. So we meet the need. So when the need arises, we are there, we meet the need. But how long does that need last? Like, how do you motivate someone who has gotten comfortable in a position of just like falling back and staying home? And it's a strong position. Like, that's rough to stay home with kids all day and take care of the house and this and that. But I would feel some type of way if I'm going out every day, even if I come home and dinner is ready and everything, I would be looking like, bruh.
Yeah, right, what?
Can you help me to help me?
Help me.
I don't know.
Janelle said one thing that I don't know if we addressed. You said, should she treat the man less? So, no, she shouldn't. If we want to, biblically, we should, I mean, regardless if I make 75 and he makes 70, or if it's vice versa, a level of respect should still be there. Point blank, period. You know, you making 5,000, 10,000 more, it definitely should be a respect for your covering, because one thing is, you can make all the money in the world and be terrible with it.
That's right. That's right.
So she could be making $80,000, $100,000, and maybe he makes a few pennies less, but as the covering, he financially could make better decisions for the household. So she may be bringing a little bit more compensation into the home, but his job to cover, to make decisions, to make moves for the family, I still think should be his role. On the flip side of it, I think it's different variables. Like I said earlier, when people date, there are some women that actually, when they get married, they're not looking for no man to take care of them. They're saying, I'm already secure financially. I've already got the house. I've already got the car. I can travel when I want. So, and again, I'm not speaking for me. I'm just saying, to be open-minded, that there are people, they're looking for companionship. Some people at 70 years old and they get married. I'm just saying, like, I've heard senior women, even younger women, they're not looking to get married for a rich man to solve them from their bills and their problems. So for some people, that's a small thing, how much he makes, you know, for some people. So I think you have to consider the variable, consider the person, consider the culture, consider so many different things, why compensation would be an issue. Now, for somebody else, it might be a problem. Right. You're gonna need to make a little bit, a couple dollars. But what's her motivation for wanting a wealthy, rich man?
I'm torn. So I know a lot of everybody's gonna may disagree. Elder Sutton, please don't come for me. Please don't come for me. So I'm gonna say this. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Minister Bree. Minister Bree said, when you start dating, this is the potential of trying to figure out if this is the person I want to be with. Before you're dating, as you're dating and before marriage takes place, I think there should be a level of communication of where is our relationship going to go. As for me, I'm a woman. I have a dream to be CFO, CEO of a company. His dream may be, I just want to, be in a call center and I'm just comfortable with that. And the woman may be like, I'm fine with that. Or, on the flip side, you can say, okay, well, I still want to be a CFO. I still want to do all of these great things, but I don't want my child to be raised in a daycare. Honey, do you want to take care of our children? Do you want to be the man to take care of our household? Because this is the generation we're in right now, Elder Sutton. I see you with your peripheral. I see out of my peripheral. I see you. This is our generation now. I know there's a couple I follow on social media. I'm not going to say who they are. And this man pushed his wife to be what she wants to be while he stayed home. He pushed her. And right now she's very known all over the internet, all over social media. Very well-known woman. And they're happy. And I think, it all depends on the conversation. I know what the Bible say, Pastor Paul. The man is supposed to cover. I do. And that's why I say I'm just really torn by it, because nowadays, like if I was to get married, I am not marrying a man because I need his money. I have my own money. I'm already established in my own position, in my own job. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for nobody to take care of me. But there are some women who are at this age that I'm at, like, girl, I've been, whatever. And I'm like, I almost lived half my life. And I feel like everybody has different visions, I guess I want to say, for their life, for their journey. So I think it all depends on the communication between the man and the woman. And if the woman is okay with her man being home, taking care of the kids and cleaning, because that is a job too. Okay, so you working, you cleaning, you taking the kids, cooking dinner, that is a job too. But fast food don't come for me. But does it mean, now I'm gonna say this though, but does it mean because he's cleaning, he's taking care of the house, he's taking care of the children, the wife comes home and says, we made this week $5,000, what should we do, how we handle this money? Is that saying that he's not still covering the family?
No. Okay. Because covering, I come back to the fact that those of us who keep house, who clean house, and do all of that stuff. There was a song popular years ago. I forgot the singer who said, I bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan, and I still want you to know that I'm a woman. But the point that I was going to make about that in terms of the word cover, as I said, remember I said what has to be a mutually agreeable arrangement is key there. And because keeping home and keeping up with children and whatever and all of that stuff that entails, we can testify, us who have done that you're worn out. Just like the man would come home and say, oh, I don't want to do anything, I've had a rough day and so forth, then the woman is there saying, well, mine wasn't so good either, and I'm worn out too, so I'd like somebody to fix some dinner for me, and blah, 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 blah. So it's a matter of what is mutually agreeable to them, because if they're equally sharing, because Pastor teaches a lot about the fact that partnership is real important in relationship. So when we're talking about that, it has to be something that is motivated really by love, and by self-sacrifice and the other things which help to maintain harmony in the home. So it can be looked at both ways, but the bottom line is it has to be a matter of whether the two are in agreement with it, whether it's working well for them, and other than that, whoever else is looking into their family relationship should get out of it.
Matrix, what you think?
Yeah, and that's good, Pastor, because when this pandemic had hit, my husband was like, look, you stay here with the children, because he definitely can't run the house, take care of the kids, and all. It'd be a mess when I get in from work. So, but when the pandemic had hit, he was like, you know what? I'll take care of the bills. You can stay home. I'll take care of the bills. You stay home and you work with, with the kids. And so I did, but like, it's the role of a mother in the house is hard as well too. But when he came home, he still helped. He helped me in the household. He done pulled his 15, 16 hours. He still came and put his hand to a plow. So you're absolutely right. And it makes a great, big help for it, because sometimes I be thinking about, like, when can I get this break? You know what I mean? When can I get this break? When I can just sit down, because the kids come and question, you know what I mean? But then, it is, as a relationship, when you have to be evenly yoked, you know what I mean, to make this work.
Anybody else? I was thinking as Matrix was talking, but okay, so, but not that your situation is normal or not normal, but right, women are always are said to be in the house while the man is working. But this right here is a torn situation, because you're saying, okay, I am going to go out whether I make more. If you're the man and you're in the house, you're saying I'm not working because I'm taking care of the kids. So no matter what, I'm making more money than you. So I'm going out, I'm bringing home all the bacon, and then I got to come home and be mother to the children and everything to the home. I don't know. I'm gonna be as a woman. I would look at my man like, yo, like this, I'm not sure we can do this. That's my personal thing. Brianna, I see you thinking.
No, I know the topic is about gender roles in society. I think one thing that we have to acknowledge is that family is not the traditional structure anymore. Right. You have many people that are single mothers and single fathers. So, I mean, I don't know if this topic is just for couples, but if you look at society, you have separate households. So the mother is, or the father could be the stay at home because you got them one weekend and I have them during the week. Or you have many fathers that have full custody of children. Full custody of children because the mother is not there. So he's doing school, he's doing homework, he's cooking. So that could affect the household that he's in with another woman as well, because he has, it's so many different dynamics with families now that, to me, I get biblically things are, but things, and yes, in the Bible, I'm sure there were maybe broken families and such too, so I don't know what that story may be. I just think that the structure of the family is not the same as 1980s.
So should we stay, with that being said, should we stay with the structure or the way of biblical, or should we change or compromise with society right now as Christians?
I think if we do it the right way, if we do it God's way, and two come together as one, and they're fruitful and they multiply, whether it be in family, whether it be in business, I think if we start right, in the middle and in the end, we'll end right. And I think how we get to all these different dynamics is because we don't start right. And I can say that. I don't say that in judgment. I say that from experience. We don't start right. So because we don't start right, we don't end right. Or in the middle, there's so many different things. If we start dating correctly, we can potentially, I'm not saying that your marriage will be perfect. I'm not married, but I'm sure you'll have bumps, you'll have disagreements, you'll have things that will take place. But I think it is important to have a good start, a good foundation.
And what's the foundation? What is the foundation?
Love.
Okay.
The heart of everything is love for God. And if we're loving God as we should, then we'll learn how to love other people, love others. That's why he says the whole law sits on this. Love your neighbor like you love yourself.
Anybody else? What's the foundation?
I think part of that foundation is also trust.
And I think Elder Chantal said it earlier. I think communication is important. You got to know where people are, and truthfully, you got to know where you are. You got to be honest with yourself about what you want, what you need, what you're looking for, and not being willing to settle just to have a ring. Sometimes we say yes to things because we just want something.
You can go out and buy your own ring if you want to.
I'm just saying, but we do, and not necessarily ring as far as jewelry, but ring as far as commitment. And sometimes we tolerate. We're okay in the beginning with things because we wanted it. And then later on we discover it's not really what I wanted. And so I think if we have communication and we're honest with people and ourselves, I think that we'll have the love, we'll have the trust, and we'll have a better ending.
Yes. Well, this has been a great conversation. I have enjoyed talking with you ladies, and those that are watching on today, I pray that you have learned a lot about being a woman and in society today. Surely there's been a lot of great nuggets and wisdom, and it's a pleasure having this show with you and this talk with you. We want to invite you to be a part of Victorious Ministries. Our pastor is Pastor Tony Smith, the greatest pastor in the entire world, we always say. We have a 9 a.m. service every Sunday and an 11 a.m. service. Why don't you go to our website, PastorTonySmith.com, and find out all about our ministry. We will see you next time with another topic. Of course, these same wonderful women, and we will be a part of a great conversation. We'll see you next time with more conversation.